The Department of
Idiomas, Enseñanza y Diversidad Cultural presents
Culture Shock with your hosts, Mane,
Giselle, Lore,
and B. Let's get started.
Hello, people. How are you doing after one absolutely amazing vacation week? I think that we all got the rest that we needed, but we want some more, so we are just very anxious about seeing the end of this semester. But before it, we're going to have an interesting topic for today, a topic that the other hosts thought that wasn't interesting, but they just said that it actually is. So please, Mania, tell us, what are we going to talk about?
So today we're going to talk about names. All right, we're going to talk about everything related to it, like which one are the most common names, if a name can affect your personality, what happens if you got like a famous last name or even name, or both. And also we're going to see like what your name, if your name relates to your personality. I mean, if your personality is affected by your name. All right.
Like when you see someone and you think, oh, you have the face of a Cornelius?
Yeah, something like that. And also, I was doing some research and I found out that your name can also affect your success. Talking about business.
No kidding.
Yes, and we're going to talk about that later. But it's actually pretty interesting, like everything that comes around with your name. Your name can change a lot in your life. Like, seriously, a lot.
Yeah, even when you got a nickname and people stop seeing you with your real name and they forget about it. Once I was like, I don't know, in junior high, and there they used to call me Wiki because I was very smart. Not now. So there was this time when like the headmaster entered the classroom, and he said, "Victor, please come out," and everyone stared at each other saying, "Who's Victor?" And I was like, "I'm here."
Yeah, for example, that also happens to me. Everybody calls me Mane. So when I'm
bless you, Laura, just
Sam. When I'm on an exam or something and I say, "Oh yeah, my name is Manuel," everybody's like, "Is your name Manuel?" I'm like, "Yeah, I thought it was Mane." And I was like, "No, that's not my name. That's just my nickname." But everybody calls me like that since I was like 5 years old. So that's why like nobody knows me as Manuel actually.
Do you know something that I find funny about Mexican culture? That we have nicknames for names. Like Eduardo, you call them Lalo.
Yeah.
Jesus Chucho.
Jesus Chucho. Luis Huicho.
Yeah, it's not that common, but also I think Santiago, it's like Tiago.
No, that's like in Brazil. Santi.
Yeah.
Jose Maria Chema.
Yeah.
Ignacio Nacho.
Maria Fernanda Maffer.
No, but that's like,
that's
making it smaller. That's like Victor Vic. I mean, you make it smaller. That's not a full change of the name.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It has one. Also, Alfonso Poncho.
Poncho.
Oh, yeah. And every name that ends with Erto, it's Beto.
Ahora.
Yeah, Roberto.
Alberto.
Norberto.
Floriberto.
That's all. All of them, it's like Beto.
I thought that Beto was just for Alberto.
No. All the names that end up with Erto, you reduce it like Beto. Like Floriberto, Roberto, Ernesto. No.
That's this man.
Sorry.
Ernesto Neto.
Oh, Ernesto is Neto. Yeah, I had a classmate.
Neto.
Yeah, names can be funny. More in Mexico.
Yeah, that's something funny because I don't know, but in the US that's like the name. They don't have that thing.
Yeah, and for me, like, how do you know that Alfonso is Poncho?
Yeah, I mean, it has nothing to do with the real name, so it can be a little more confusing. And also, some names have some translation, right?
Yeah, like Peter, Pedro,
and Juan, John.
Juan and John. Paul, Pablo.
No.
John Paul.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Zach, Isaac, sí, ¿no?
Wait.
Zach.
in Spanish.
But there's
Isaac.
not a name Zach.
Yes,
is it?
there is.
Convita?
Yes.
Ah, Zach.
Isaac.
Isaac?
Yes. Isaac.
I didn't know
Huh.
that.
I didn't know that either. But there are also some
Felipe
other names.
Philip.
Yeah, but there are also some other names that you cannot translate. For example,
Floriberto.
Yeah. Because
Jesus.
That word.
Jesus. Well, it's
Jesus,
the same.
Jesus.
But it's the same. Like Maria.
Mary.
Mary.
Mary. Oh, turn down for what?
What's wrong with me today?
Aaron.
Erin has no translation.
Irina.
Elena.
I don't.
That name doesn't exist. Irina.
Erendira.
It can be.
Eri-
No,
No.
no. Erin. Arron. Is Aaron, no?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. But that's for boys, right?
Yeah.
Aaron.
Yeah, what's up with the name Maria Jose and Jose Maria?
Well, yeah, that's like the same name, but it's for
Backwards.
different genders. Yeah, if you say Jose Maria, it's for
Boys.
boys. And if you say Maria Jose, it's for girls.
My crush.
Yeah. All right. So,
What I want to ask you, what's like
Sure.
the funniest name that you've ever heard?
Penelope.
That's like the funniest,
Yes.
just because of the first 4 words. I mean, 4 letters.
It's funny. It also.
I once met a girl that it was called, like, her name was Zoila. No, but it doesn't end there. Like, her last name was Vaca. So if you read her name completely, it was Zoila Vaca.
Meaning I'm the cow.
Yes. So that was the funniest name I ever heard.
I had this friend, she was a girl whose name was Macarena.
Like the song.
Yeah, like the song. Everybody,
Yeah.
when they met her, she told me that everyone used to sing La Macarena.
Oh my god. I never met someone that her name was Macarena. That's so cool. I also like
My best friend's name, she's a girl, and her name is Madai.
I know someone whose name is Madai.
That's the first Madai that I've ever heard.
But it's kind
That
of
I've
common.
ever heard. Yeah.
I'm thinking of other fun names because I have heard a lot. This is not fun. It's weird. Like I have a friend that is a teacher, and one of her students is called Princesa.
No
Like
kidding.
that's her name, Princesa.
Princess come.
Yeah, like
A girl or a boy?
a girl.
Well,
But you don't call your child Princesa.
but they start in a certain way. I mean, someone took the initiative to call his daughter Estrella, and now there are a lot of girls with that name.
I never met someone whose name is Estrella.
I had a cousin that her name is Estrella, but I didn't even knew my cousin. My dad bought me a dog, a Chihuahua, and I put her Estrella. and I have, when she used to visit, like, Estrella, come, and she's like, what? I'm like, oh, I'm talking to my dog.
What do you think about naming pets after, well, with human names?
They get.
I think you
thought
shouldn't.
it's nice. My dog's name is Ricardo. And it's funny because I have a friend, and every time he has an English bulldog just like me. So there was this one time when we decided to take our dogs out, and I was like, Ricardo, ven. And Ricardo come, and he was like, what? And I was like, I'm talking to my dog. But yeah, I like putting human names to dogs.
I don't think it should happen.
No, because that will happen, you know? You will get confused between your pet and your friends. So, no, I don't think you should name your pet.
I think like you should name them after funny things, since you cannot name your sons with those names. My best friend has this little jerky who is a girl.
Little what?
Jerky.
What is that?
Jerky, the teeny tiny dog that's brown and with long hair. Jerkies.
Like the Lady and the Tramp?
No, that's another type of dog.
Jorky? How do you
Jerky.
write that?
With J
O-R-K?
K E.
Let me look for it. But, okay. Like, what's the name of the
The
pet?
name of the dog was Candy.
Oh,
And
alright.
after that, they bought a male jerky. So I told them, why don't you name Candy and the dog, you name it Crush. So then you would be in the park and you would say Candy and Crush.
Yeah, that's a funny, like, a word game. Yeah. For example, do you have any pets?
No.
All right.
No.
What about you, Karen? Do you have
No.
any pets? I have one dog. I used to have a cat, and I had my cat when I was 7, and her name of the cat was Meow. You know, because I think that whenever he talks, the cat talk, it was saying his name.
Oh, that's so stupidly childish.
I was 7 years old.
I mean, that's something that we all do when we're kids, but now we realize that it was
Yeah, you
Not
you
happening.
think about it, and it's like, okay, it was pretty dumb. And I have a.
That's sweet. Well, for
It's kind of dorky. And,
sweet.
And I have a dog that it's named Kaisa, but I don't know why we named her like that. I think it was my father's idea. No, I don't know what. Like, we named her like that because she's a husky. So.
This is a jerky.
Oh.
Oh, that's cute.
Okay, I know that.
That's cute.
All right. All right. Good. So, like, what are the funniest names you ever heard?
Well, it's about a funny story. I was like in the supermarket, like Walmart or something. And then we heard that a mom was shouting her son's name. The name was Jean-Claude. And then you will think that that's also a stereotype, and we always end up saying things about stereotypes. But we thought, like, he must be blonde and tall and stuff. And when we saw the child, he was really Mexican. So,
Yeah.
funny.
I mean, your name can also affect, like, what expectations people have of you. Like, you look someone, like, have you ever been in the bus and think, like, oh, he has a face of, like...
Norberto.
He looks like a Norberto. Or she looks like a Sofia. I mean, it happens. Your name can affect your personality, like, your expectations,
What
for
about-
example.
El Brian.
My
Like
Yeah.
Kimberly.
El Kenny.
Yes, if you're named Brian here in Mexico...
Kimberly.
or Kimberly, or you think like they come from
Natasha.
yeah, like from a bad
From the
neighborhood.
hood.
Yes, like they will, I don't know.
Make fun of you.
Yeah, they will
Yeah,
kidnap
but
you
that
or
also
something.
depends on the way you pronounce it. I mean, if you say
Sure.
Brian, there's no
Brian.
problem. But then if you say El Brian, then the thing changes.
It can also change, right?
Kimberly.
And I think that also parents should be like aware of the name that they're going to name their son.
Yes.
Like
you
there are
should-
these guys that name them Winnie Pooh and
Email.
why do you think this happened? Like, why the parents name their child, like the children, like with the initial name?
that. I think that happens because they want to have like a special name, and that they also worship Disney or something like
Yeah.
Goku or
Yeah, and also like you put your name to children like when something affects your life like significantly. For example, I really think that in the future we will start to have names like Harry from Harry Potter or Hermione or even
it's
I-
happening. I mean, there
Yeah.
are like 3 registered Hermiones in Mexico.
Yes,
Really?
yeah. So like in the future we will have like names from famous people. Like when Star Wars was on, I think that the name Luke started to increase, like the registration of names, because it's like trending. you
Yeah,
know?
history shapes names. After the World War II, the name Hitler went down like, I don't know, but the number of Hitlers lessened a lot in the
Yes.
US after the war. So history can also shape culture and names, which is something funny because we don't think about it that much.
Yeah.
But we're going to go to this commercial cut and we'll be back in a few minutes.
We'll come back in a few minutes.
Stay with us. U-Radio. U-Radio. La licenciatura en Humanidades y el Departamento de Capacitación y Desarrollo de Talentos, en colaboración con Brigadas Móviles de Cultura ACE, invitan los meses de marzo, abril y mayo al ciclo de conferencias y talleres. Desarrollo de competencias multiculturales. Un proyecto de la UPAEP para impulsar el desarrollo de competencias y responder a las necesidades del mundo. Cupo limitado. Para mayores informes, marca el 2299-400, extensión 7711, o escríbenos a mariadelourdes.salvador@upaep.mx.
La Clave es un programa para líderes del futuro. No te lo pierdas todos los martes de 3 a 4 por U-Radio.
UPAEP, rumbo al 50 aniversario. Misión.
Crear corrientes de pensamiento y formar líderes que transformen a la sociedad, en la búsqueda de la verdad, integrando fe, ciencia y vida. Valores.
Junto a la verdad, el bien y la belleza, nuestra universidad sostiene como valores rectores la dignidad de la persona humana, la libertad, la solidaridad, la subsidiariedad, la congruencia, el respeto, el amor y la justicia. Visión.
Somos una comunidad universitaria fraterna, congruente, alegre y comprometida, que es referente en la conjunción del pensamiento humanista, cristiano y las ciencias, que forma integralmente líderes con alta calidad profesional y compromiso social. Contribuye a la transformación de la sociedad con propuestas pertinentes, orientadas a la consecución del bien común. Tiene presencia e influencia en los ámbitos local, regional, nacional e internacional. Centra la gestión en la persona y optimiza los recursos al servicio de la misión institucional. Líneas rectoras.
Atreverse a vivir congruentemente nuestra identidad, como ejemplo de virtud en el servicio, con respeto y amor al prójimo, para la transformación social en orden al bien común.
Privilegiar a través de la academia la formación humanista cristiana en busca de la excelencia científica y profesional, con pensamiento universal y trascendencia social.
Crear sistemas académicos de auténtica pertinencia social, a través de la docencia, investigación y extensión, para enriquecer la cultura y participar en la solución de los problemas fundamentales del país.
Involucrarse en la formación y desarrollo intercultural de la comunidad universitaria a través de ámbitos y vínculos de internacionalización.
Lograr ambientes de confianza, colaboración y servicio, dentro de una cultura de austeridad, transparencia y evaluación. UPAEP, rumbo al 50 aniversario.
Hello there. We're back at Culture Shock.
So we're back. I thought that we were back like 5 seconds ago and I wanted to start talking, but no, the cue wasn't on. So, please tell us fun facts about names.
Alright.
Interesting things about names.
Well, we have some interesting facts around here. Would you want to start, Lore? Alright.
Then Mane,
Maybe I'll start. So, for example, do you know the number of people with identical first and last names?
What?
Like, for example, I don't know, Rodrigo Rodriguez, or
But that's not identical.
yes,
No.
no. Well, for example, I don't know.
Abraham.
With their
Uh-huh.
same first and last name?
Yes.
Yeah, you would be like Loreli.
Like
Uh-huh.
John Johnson.
No, John.
No, John, for example.
Oh,
Victor, or something like that. In the U.S., it's 4,646 people with the same names.
I don't think that's very common here in Mexico because we have this huge difference between names and last names, and
Yeah.
using a name as a last name is not that common.
Yeah, but in the US, like normally it's with American names, you know, like the most common one is Thomas Thomas. Like that's the most common one, and follow that is James James. I don't know why.
Ruth.
Yeah, or Alexander Alexander.
I think we all got the point. Please, the next
Stop,
one.
stop.
Spend the whole radio show saying these names. So, Lottie, can you tell us some facts?
Well, yeah, the last name, and there's this names that start with their last name, and last names start with their first name, and for example, it would be like John Johnson, William Williams, and it's estimated that around 5,456 people have this type of names.
That's something
in the
that
USA too.
that happens here in Mexico. I've heard like Rodrigo Rodriguez or I don't know,
Martin Martinez.
Martin Martinez.
And I can't think of any of it. But
I lost all the last names that ended easy.
Yeah.
Ramon. No.
Ramón Ramones. Sí.
Yeah.
Ramones?
Sí.
Have you ever heard that last name?
Sí.
Yeah. I heard of those names.
Ramones.
Flores.
Well, my mom used to work in a university, and then there she had this student whose name I don't really care about the name, but the last names were Pájaro and Chico in that order. So imagine the
Oh.
bullying that this guy had.
Probably. Like, whose name is Pájaro?
Whose name is Chico, and whose last names are Pájaro Chico.
I mean, it was like the name and the last name?
No, I think like I am Víctor López Castañeda. This guy was like Alberto Pájaro Chico.
Oh.
Okay.
Wow.
Imagine the bullying, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. We also have like the number of people with names that rhyme. Like, have you ever heard, for example, Mary Perry? Yeah. Or Nelly Kelly.
I think
Morris.
those are more like artist names or something.
Yeah, but I mean they exist, and it's 62,000 names that rhyme. I think that can be more common in American names. Like there are no Spanish Mexican names that rhyme.
Yeah, and I think that the ones that rhyme should be like famous names or stuff like Lady Gaga.
That doesn't rhyme.
I know, but a fun name like that.
Yeah, I mean, we can have like rhyming names. For example, Ronald McDonald. That rhymes.
Donald, yes.
Yeah.
I was going to say Hello Kitty, but that does not rhyme.
No.
No, that doesn't rhyme either. Karen, you have another fact? Or shall I say another one?
Like, please tell us the most common name in the world.
In the world. I think it's...
Well,
you said it, right?
Yeah, we already said it.
Mohammed. That's the most common name.
Which is something funny because I know no Mohammed here.
Well, for example, here in Mexico, the more common names is
Juan.
Jesus, Maria,
Juan.
José.
Pedro, José,
Luis.
Loreli. No es cierto.
And I think for girls it's Sofia.
But
the most
also
common
like
name.
that kids have how can I say it? I mean, names have like a certain period of time when people name their kids like that. As an example, like 7 years ago, everyone who had a daughter would name her Sofia.
Mm-hmm.
The name of today is like, I don't know, Carla. And then in 5 years, the trending would be, I don't know, Fiona or something like that.
Why Fiona?
Because that's the first name that I thought about.
Yeah.
20 years ago, the most common name for kids, for girls, the old girls, was Daniela.
20 years ago.
Daniela.
Maybe. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah. I don't know what else.
So also the region. I mean, the region, the society, the community, and history and the time shapes a child's name.
Yeah. As we were talking about, like when the
So please, another fun fact.
All right, so I have another fun fact that, I mean, all these facts are from the American names, but still, we have also people whose whose last name has 16 characters or more. Like, can you imagine a last name like that? That it's more than 16 characters?
I think that happens, but like in Middle East nations.
Maybe.
Like Mohammed Raza it happens. Something like that.
Yeah, like one that we have registered and it's really weird. It's Fernández de la Portil. Like it's all together.
Fernández de la Portil?
Yes. And it's all together. It doesn't have any spaces.
I think that that's also something that I don't share with people. Like keeping both last names because you want to be fancy. Or changing your last names because you want to be fancy. I've got 2 cases. One of them was that I have an uncle who's a priest, and his name was Javier with a J, with a J. But then he entered the seminary and he became a priest, and after that he would write his name with an X.
Why?
Because there are 2 saints whose names are Javier and are written with X. Javier Alegre y Francisco Javier with X.
Wow.
So that's because he wanted to stay fancy. And also, in my family, there's this group of siblings that have the last names Andrade Peregrina. I mean, Andrade space Peregrina.
Uh-huh.
And this uncle decided that he wanted to be fancier, so he changed his name to Andrade y Peregrina.
Oh.
So it's like, dude.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that could happen. Like, sometimes you're... Like, I don't know why you decided to have, like, a bigger and more important name.
You're the one that can give power to your last name. So it doesn't matter if it's very, very fancy. If you do the right things, then you're going to be remembered, despite your fancy or not fancy last name.
Yeah.
Everything depends on you and not on your name. Well, that's what I think.
That's a really good thought, actually. Like the one you had, like you are the one who gives importance to your last name.
Yeah.
That's a good thought.
I'm a writer, bro.
Oh, sure. Lari, you have another one?
She's scratching her back.
I'm sorry. Me estoy pelando, no sé cómo se diga.
Peeling.
Yes. Have we talked about the odd last and first names?
No.
Like what?
What do you mean by odd?
Like odd, weird.
John Johnson.
Like, I found some weird ones like Donald Duck, Homer Simpson, Mary Land. There's about like 270 people named with those types of names. I think it's like
we talked about it.
Like, naming your child Donald Duck, it's
funny.
It's insane. What would your name? Wait, I don't know. That's weird.
Would you do it?
What? Name my kid?
Like, I don't know, Mary Poppins.
Like like a cartoon character? No, I wouldn't.
Lots of famous people have strange names for their children.
Yeah, like
that's because they...
Blue Ivy. That's the name of Beyonce's daughter.
What's her name?
Blue Ivy.
Yeah, I think that famous people tend to have those weird names because they want to stay extravagant and stuff.
Yeah, like...
Do you know Chris Martins, the...
Coldplay singer.
Daughter's son?
No.
A name?
No.
Her name is Apple.
Apple?
Yeah. Her name's Apple.
Like, do you know the name of Kanye West and Kim Kardashian's son?
It's West.
It's North.
Yeah.
So, and his last name is West. So his full name is Northwest. Why?
I mean, that's funny for the parents, but for the kid, you should take into consideration the bullying that he could receive.
Actually.
But I think for famous people it's different. I don't think they're gonna get like bullied as if you were like a regular person that's not famous and you name your son Northwest. That would be kind of weird. But since it's like a famous son's name, well, it's kind of different.
No, I think he could still be bullied. I mean, he has to go to school.
But no, actually, Lore's right. You know, when you come from like a famous last name, like it's not like the same as a celebrity, but you are a descendant or a relative of that celebrity.
To be respected.
Yeah, like you expect yourself to be respected because of that last name.
Because your parents are famous.
Yes.
Well, here in Mexico, we don't care about it, and we make fun out of everything.
But in Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for example, in the U.S., if someone is like has, for example, I don't know, the last name West, it's like, oh, he's a West. We need to respect him because his dad is Kanye West. So I think he won't be bullied, or Kim Kardashian.
No, for example, in where I'm from, there's like you can see how they treat people different because of their last name and they know where they come from. For example, I used to in high school, I used to be in a Catholic school, and if you would hear the last name Aramburo de la Sierra, and those, for example, those are two types. Like the teachers would like automatically know that they would like have to treat them really nice, and the rest were like whatever. They would treat them right, but like give like a preference to the other kids that had those types of last names.
I strongly disagree with that.
I do too, but that happened. That happened in my school. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the teachers shouldn't do it.
Yeah, of course, but it happens.
Yeah, I know it happens.
Like I'm not remember very well. I think it's Jordan. I think Jordan is divided in 4 regions. So everyone in, for example, if you're in one region, which name is really hard to pronounce, you're supposed to have these certain last names. No other. Just like it has a list of 4 or 5 last names, and that's it. If you give someone your last name, they will instantly know which song you live in Jordan because you have the last name. And also in Georgia, they have only 3 last names in the whole country. And
where?
In Georgia.
3 last names?
Where's Georgia?
It's underneath Russia. It's a really small country.
Georgia?
Yes.
I thought you were talking about the state.
No. No, Georgia is a really small country beneath, like.
How do you spell it
Russia?
In Spanish? Georgia?
It's also Georgia.
Georgina?
No.
So I think it's also Georgia.
I swear I've never heard that name in
because
my
it's super
life.
small. Like it's really super small country.
I have a friend that her name is Georgina.
No, but we're talking about the country.
Yeah, we're talking about nation.
Yeah, I have 2 friends from Georgia, so that's why I know about the country. And they only have 3 last names around the country, no more. I think it's weird.
Yeah, well, we should say that last names appeared because back in the days, a long time ago, names were not enough for the amount of people that lived there. So they started to say Jesus, the son of Jose, but suddenly there were a lot of Jesus and a lot of Joses, and a lot of Joses who had a son named Jesus. So that's why they start to use last names.
Yeah.
And that's a fun fact that we are going to leave here because we are going to another commercial cut.
All right.
And we'll be back in a few minutes.
Woo.
I don't think so.
Me.
Welcome back in a few minutes.
Stay with us.
Si te gustan los animales, Zoológica es el espacio radiofónico que esperabas. Escúchanos a través de U-Radio. Todos los jueves, de 11 a 12 horas, a partir del 2 de febrero. Aquí nos escuchamos.
gustaría crear o mejorar dispositivos para el servicio de seres vivos, tales como prótesis, órtesis e instrumental biomédico? ¿Qué estás esperando? La Escuela de Ingeniería Biónica de la UPAEP te invita a conocer cómo un ingeniero biónico domina y aplica las habilidades de elementos mecánicos, electrónicos y biológicos en las personas. Conoce nuestro plan de estudios conformado por 9 cuatrimestres con líneas terminales en diseño y manufactura de prótesis, emprendedores e instrumentación biomédica, con un campo de trabajo que va desde el sector salud, automotriz y aeroespacial. Para más información, comunícate al teléfono 229-9400, extensión 7146, o consulta la página www.upaep.mx. Ingeniería biónica, calidad de vida en tus manos. Haz lo tuyo. Hazlo UPAEP.
Who are we?
And where do we come from? The answer is here on Culture Shock.
A student-led radio program
Discovering culture and identity.
In Mexico and around the world.
music,
Culture.
Traditions. Interviews.
and more.
Join us on Thursdays from 2 to 3.
La Clave es un programa para líderes del futuro. No te lo pierdas todos los martes de 3 a 4 por U Radio.
U Radio. U Radio. La licenciatura en Humanidades y el Departamento de Capacitación y Desarrollo de Talentos, en colaboración con Brigadas Móviles de Cultura ACE, invitan los meses de marzo, abril y mayo al ciclo de conferencias y talleres. Desarrollo de competencias multiculturales. Un proyecto de la UPAEP para impulsar el desarrollo de competencias y responder a las necesidades del mundo. Cupo limitado. Para mayores informes, marca el 2299-400, extensión 7711, o escríbenos a mariadelourdes.salvador@upaep.mx.
Hello there. We're back at Culture Shock. This is what you came.
So we are in our last segment, so Manny, you're up, please.
Alright, as long as my computer cooperates with me because he's being so slow.
You should not trust your computer.
I know.
You should know it by
But I know
heart.
it.
You should
I
learn it
don't
by
remember
heart.
some of the facts. But we were talking about names, and we were going to talk about how name can affect your opportunities in life. All right? So, okay, let's just begin with the question. Do you think your name can affect your opportunities in life?
No.
Do you think your life would be different if you had a different name?
No.
Okay, why not?
Cause like we said it like in the last segment, everything depends on you. Like, for example, there could be two. Could you mention a name that is like, I don't know, strong or something like that?
Yeah, but imagine, instead of being named Cangisel, your parents decided to name you Rihanna. Don't you think your life will change?
Maybe, I don't know. I still think that everything depends on your actions, really, not on your name.
Yeah, you're talking about the importance of your name, yes.
Yes.
But the perception that everyone has about your name.
Maybe they're gonna think that I'm gonna be a singer. I don't know.
Exactly, and so then they're going to start messing up with the thing that you're a singer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I was saying, like the person that I wanted to interview but left the room.
Who was she?
So my girlfriend's name is Daniela Arjona, and then in every single class, the first day when they check the list, and people hear that her last name is Arjona, then everyone starts with, "Are you a daughter or something related to Ricardo Arjona?" And then that's like the joke every time they meet her. So I think your name does affect the way people see you?
Oh.
Maybe it doesn't change your life completely, like upside down, but it can affect sometimes.
Yeah.
For example, there's a research that Forbes did. It's an analysis in the US, and they realized that the shorter your name, the more money you will earn. All right, because it was making a research about, oh my God, a job search site. All right, they made the interview over there, and they realized that all the people that were hired in higher positions were named like Bob, or Rob, or Danny. I mean, they had short names.
Do you know how's Bob el Constructor?
The builder.
Bob the Builder? Really?
Yeah, I mean...
Do you know what happens when Bob the Builder is unemployed? Do you know how they call him?
How?
Bob.
That's a terrible joke.
Yeah.
That's such a terrible joke.
I mean, it's absolutely funny.
No.
Bob the Builder is unemployed, and how do you name him? Bob.
That's a terrible joke.
Aaron is laughing.
So because this happens because if your name is easier to pronounce, the people will hire you. Because your name is easier to pronounce because it's easier for us to communicate. It's something related to that, okay? For example, and it also comes with trust. Like, would you trust more in someone named Bob or in someone named Yahamoto? Who would you trust more?
Yahamoto.
No, I see where you're going. I
Yeah.
would trust Bob.
Yes, because your name is simpler, your name is shorter, your name is so much easier to pronounce. So that's why, like, you're shorter your name, you can earn more money. That's weird, right?
Then I'm going to change my name to Bob.
There's also, during this research, they're making, I don't know if I should say this word. Like, can I say black? Okay. During this research.
African American.
Like, during this research, it also ended up that white names are more employable than African American ones.
What?
Like black names. They
are more what?
White names are more employable.
White. Okay.
Than black ones.
Due to stereotypes.
Yes. Yeah. It's called. Yeah. Because of the stereotypes. Why do you think it's a
black name?
Beyonce. Jordan, maybe. Oh my God.
I'm gonna look that.
Yeah.
Check that out.
But well.
That's interesting because they 50s.
Yeah, I mean,
but that's
it comes with racism and it comes with stereotypes. All right, because how could you know that you have a white name? Like, how could you know that? And how can you decide that you have a black name, for example?
It's simple, like Jordan and Brad, a white name, Jordan, a black name.
Jordan, not so much, but like Obama.
Yeah, it also happens like who we relate that name to.
My God.
What?
One of the blackest girl names is Precious. Diamond.
Precious.
Kiara.
Mercedes.
Jasmine. Raven.
Raven, yeah.
Jasmine.
I love that show.
And for boys,
Richard.
Dejon.
Connor.
Morgan.
Trevor. Tyrone. Dominique.
Denzel.
Maurice.
All right. So moving on with this, you know that also a last name that goes at the beginning of the alphabet might help you get into college. Easily.
Again.
And last name at the beginning of the alphabet might help you get into college.
Anderson.
Like, yeah, for example, if your last name starts with A or B or C.
I'm Victor, so
no, your last name.
My last name.
Yeah, you're Castañeda.
Lopez Castañeda.
Oh, Lopez. Oh, then probably you're a little screwed. Yeah, it was a research. It was a research done in
a church built again. Research
in 2007 that checked people that wanted to get into college in the USA. I mean, Czech last names are kind of difficult, and they all start with R or T. or set. So during that research, it was done that all Americans' last name started with the beginning of the alphabet, so all of them get into college. And the Czech people, it was like getting harder and harder to get. So yeah, your name can affect a lot. For example, highly gender names influence how you do in school. Did you know that?
Please tell me more. Tell me more.
What do you know? What do you think when I say highly gender names?
Highly gendered.
Yes.
Like a name that you think that it's for a girl, and a name that you think it's for a boy.
Yes. Yeah. For example, what is like?
Maria.
Yeah. But
Isabel.
Isabel, for example.
Like a not highly gendered name would be like Ale. You can name Ale Alejandro or Alejandra. So Ale, it's like in the very middle.
Yes, it was a research done by the Northwestern University. The Northwestern University.
Northwest.
They had Northwestern University. They had twins, all right, and they put like a girly name to one and a not so girly name to the other one, and all the girls that had like a girly name showed less interest in science and math subjects than the other ones. All of them. Why do you think is that?
Because gender is not the same as sex. Sex is like boy and girl, but gender is the idea that society makes you have about how a girl and a boy should act.
Yeah, maybe. But like but yeah, for example, if you're named, I don't know, what is a girly name in English? Ashley. Like, if you're named Ashley, why you won't look really interested in science or math?
Because society tells you that math are for boys and for girls, I don't know, arts and stuff.
Yeah. So it can also affect your life. For example, like if you want like your child to be intelligent or inclined, like mathematically inclined,
then I should name her Pedro.
Yeah, or so, like, a little less girly name, for example.
What do you think that will be a less girly name here in Mexico? A not so girly name.
I don't know.
A girl-ish name.
I think Andrea, because I know boys that
Andrea
are named Andrea.
Bocelli.
Yes, like I know boys that are named Andrea, but also girls. So I don't think Andrea is like a girly name.
Okay.
What about you? Do you think of like a girly name?
I'm thinking right now. Wait.
I think, I don't know.
I said Alejandra because of the Ale thing. And Majo.
Majo. But that comes from Maria Jose.
Yeah, well, Maria Jose, Jose Maria.
Yeah, I think that's like a neutral name.
Yeah, I had this friend who told me that, well, her name is Majo, well, Maria Jose, and she told me that her parents said that if she was a boy, they would name him Jose Maria.
And if not?
Maria Jose.
Yeah. That's good. It's, yeah, okay, yeah. It's funny. And for example, I have also that also that during this kind of same investigation, it also helps that your name tells you like what career you should have also.
No kidding. How is that?
Because there are people that think like my name sounds more than like a
scientist.
Yeah, like my name is like a scientist name. So I think I should be a scientist, for example. Or if I say I look like, my name sounds like a teacher, maybe I should be a teacher. Or you want to study, I don't know, medicine, and you say, but my name is not like a doctor's name. So you start to question your career choices based on your names.
That's weird.
Damn.
Would you question your career based on your name?
No.
Like, what do you want to do in the future? Like, what do you want to
go volunteering?
But like your job, like as a profession?
Be in charge of the ones that want to go volunteering.
All right. Okay. Good. So you say that your name Victor can be like attractive to that. Like I don't know how do you call that, council.
Please don't mind blow me.
But it depends. Like Lore, what do you want to be in your profession?
Something related to turismo, ¿cómo se dice?
Tourism.
Yes.
So if you think that you are going to give a touristic tour and to a USA group, and they say the name of your tourist guide is Loreli, what do you think of that?
Well, I'm gonna be in Mexico, so it's gonna be good. It's gonna be like a Mexican name of someone who's from Mexico and knows a lot about the place where the touristic people are going.
How do you know that Loreli is from Mexico?
Well, it sounds Mexican.
I have never heard that name in my life
Because
before
I think
met
it sounds Mexican.
It's Loreli. It's Mexican. It's like Maria.
I'm gonna look that. No.
I have
Loreli. Lorena
comes from. ¿De dónde viene? De Grecia. So
Oh, but it's Mexican, dude. Oh my god.
but it sounds Mexican.
It does sound a little Mexican.
It does.
And what do you want to do?
I want to be a traductor.
A what?
Interpreter.
Oh, interpreter.
Traductor.
And do you think like Karen the interpreter?
My name is Mexican.
What
Yeah, that's a Mexican name, not like
Yeah.
Greek Loreli.
But it doesn't sound Greek. It sounds. It's probably
It
like.
comes from Lorelei.
It comes from Greek.
I mean,
I said it comes from Greece.
in Greece the name is Lorelei, and then it was shaped.
In Mexican
Loreli.
style to Loreli.
No.
So that's all the time we have. So would you like to close the show, Victor?
Yeah, I would love to do it. Just like to change it. If you were named in a different way than the name that you have, what would it be?
I will name myself Alejandro. I like that name.
Alejandro. Karen Giselle.
Oh, Maria. I don't know. I like the name Maria.
Regina.
I've got a funny story about Regina.
No, esas dos.
And what about you, Vic?
I think I'd love to be
Brad.
Diego.
That's a cool
Diego.
name.
And what about you, Erin?
Chabela.
Chabela.
Good.
Chabela. Okay.
So, that's all for today's show. We'll be back. We'll be
Thursday.
back next
Next
Thursday.
Thursday.
Talking about cultural appropriation.
Something that I don't know what that is, so you're going to explain to me.
All right. So thank you very much for listening. Make sure to spread the word. Thank you very much. Bye.
And you can listen to
Bye.
us again and
See
again
you
and again
later.
and again. We're never going to leave. Bye.
See you Thursday.
Right.
This was Culture Shock, a program to get in touch with your identity.
See you next Thursday.
Open your mind and rediscover your world.